So I've got the thermostat housing off again because it leaks. There are two holes in it. There's one of them. There's another one just there, not entirely visible, but if you look through the other way, yeah, there you can see two holes. So that's obviously not very good for keeping the coolant in, which is why it was spraying everywhere in the previous video when I got it up and running. So what I've got is some JB Weld. Good people at JB Weld. I said, what have you got that'll fix this? And they suggested this, water weld, which is a sort of putty. What does it say? Remove required amount of putty. I've no idea how much that is, but we'll find out. Mix it, so just knead it with your fingers, and finally just put it where you need it to go. For best results, use a detergent or degreaser first. I've been degreasing the thermostat housing, which is why it's clean in just one area, just to show you the difference. I could probably have done this with it fitted to the car, and it claims to set even underwater, so I could probably have just smeared some putty on where it was, but because the thermostat housing is down here, I thought you might appreciate actually seeing how it works. So let's give it a go. So I've got the car parked on an angle. That means the rad cap is now at the highest point in the cooling system, which means the bubbles seem to be disappearing. However, there are some slight concerns. That's more than just condensation in the exhaust. That looks like it's burning oil. So I'm hoping that isn't through knackered rings. Valve stem seals are brand new, so they shouldn't be a problem. Burping the pipes literally means just squeezing, just to try and get the air out. And I think I might try and take the rad cap off and we'll see what the level's like. This engine isn't too hot yet. I wouldn't do this on a hot engine. I'm nervous enough doing it on one that's just getting up to temperature. Got the trusty watering can. That's taking quite a lot of water. This check's definitely not spraying coolant out there, so that must just be pockets of air being removed from the system. It is now holding a level. You can still see bubbles making their way out. That's because this is the highest point, so now all the bubbles should be travelling through. I'm now hoping this fan's going to fire into life at some point. See my clever distributor mod there, it is held on with twine, that is true. These pipes are getting so hot I don't want to touch them now. But still no sign of life from the fan. The gauge is still middling though, so that's not panic stations just yet. Okay, I'm going to have to work on that bodge. Clearly that hasn't set sufficiently. It was holding pressure. As the cooling system's approached really quite hot, it has failed. Okay. So there we can see the problem. This piece is set very nicely and that hole is still solid on the inside, but the other one has just come away. I don't think that's set. I wonder if that's because it was the end of the tube. That stuff wasn't very good. We'll give it another go. There we go, that's what we wanted to see. So I've had the stat housing off again and bodged it up, and it now appears to be staying dry. No coolant falling out of there. Good. All seems dry. That's good. What's our level like here? Oh, level's dropped a bit. Let's give it a top up. Oh, that's dropped quite a bit. Lots of silt in this engine still. It doesn't take long for the water to turn mucky again. Well, I'd say we're getting there. There goes the fan, that's shut off. Radiator's at a happy temperature. Job's a good one. So there's the temperature gauge, staying nice and stock and steady. No plumes of blue smoke out the back. But I have managed to clean up the number plate a bit. It still looks quite manky, but I think that should do for an MOT. It is now the day before the MOT, and listen to that. Beautiful. I've just replaced the distributor cap and the HT lead, so the ignition is now bob on. My hair is a mess, but if you look here, yeah, I still can't get the final screw into the distributor cap, so I'm a bit stuffed. I've just had to use speaker wire to effectively tie it on. At this point, I would like to thank Liqui Moly, who have sent me this rather fancy 10W40 synthetic oil. It contains additives, but this is all in German, so I can't really tell you an awful lot about it, but I will put a link to this product. Oh, there goes my messages again, in the description box, and hopefully we can tell you a bit more about it. So the strange thing about this Liqui Moly oil is if I get some fresh on my hand, it starts this sort of curious and not very appealing grey colour rather than the gold you'd normally expect. And that's because there are additives, which I know nothing about, which should help keep everything running nice and smoothly. And it is claimed will improve the economy because the friction is reduced so much in the engine. I haven't really established a baseline, so I'm completely unable to test that, but that is the theory. It's a beautiful day here in paradise. I'm going to take my Nissan Bluebird for a drive. Right then, handbrake on, into neutral. It's got an automatic choke, so you push the pedal down like so and back up. Ignition on. Beautiful. Just got to watch out for my cat who's loitering. Go away, you silly cat. He's a very silly cat. Make sure I don't run him over. Ridiculous animal. Here we go then. This is... Well, actually, I've had the odd run up the driveway, but otherwise this is my first drive in my new car. The new car, which I bought almost 2 months ago. It's been a long journey, and we're now into part 4 of the adventure of getting it back on the road. Ooh, something feels a little bit loose on the front end. I'm not sure if it's a track rod end or a ball joint, but I'm hoping it'll last the 4-mile drive to the MOT station. Oh, that's a nasty rattle. Come on, car, you've just got to get a few more miles. I saw an MGF the other day, in fact here's a photo, where a ball joint has failed and the wheel has come adrift and wedged in the wheel arch, making it look like some weird Japanese super camber monster. I don't want that to happen, but I won't be driving particularly quickly because that could happen. And we've covered 2 miles now. Yeah, that's my foot most of the way down, and it's sort of accelerating. There we go, first drive completed. Now just need to wait for the MOT. So perhaps unsurprisingly, the Bluebird did fail the MOT. Inner track rod ends were kind of expected. I knew that was going to be a problem because I could feel it through the steering. The split CV joint, and one of the rear wheel bearings is a little on the iffy side. Oh, and there was a problem with one of the wiper blades and a headlamp, which was insecure and the adjuster didn't work, so I'm going to have to try and get that replaced. So it's going to stay with the garage. They're going to fix all the problems. I need to sort out a headlamp, and hopefully can bring on the good times. But in the meantime, I've got another car to be getting on with, so see if I can start looking at the brake problems on this car. For now, that's the end of Project Bluebird, but there will be more. I'm hoping to take it to the Festival of the Unexceptional in just a few weeks' time. That'll be its first run out, so fingers crossed it'll all be alright. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and part 5 of Project Bluebird will be along, hopefully not too distantly in the future. Ta-ta for now.